A very good morning to everyone. Today, in a series of talks on the benefits of Shunya practice, I would like to bring in the sixth benefit, and this one is called resilience. What does this word mean? This word basically means the capacity to actually bounce back from every situation that life puts us into. It's the ability to regain ourselves back again. Many a times, if you look at people who have really succeeded in life, are those who have really bounced back from all the situations in life. And life, as we have all understood, is not all hunky dory, all good, beautiful. This life is full of suffering. But the ones who know the skill of how they can bounce back from every situations are the ones who survive. And survival is the first step in future to thrive. So now you would be wondering, how can a simple practice like Shunya help somebody to develop this skill set, which is so very rarely found in people? Today, half of the population, or more than half, is so much under stress. When they fail, they just give up. They never rise up again. And this is a skill set that makes people successful. All the rags to riches stories, if you ever get to know, you will realize this was one thing, the ability to bounce back from whatever situation life put them into, is what has helped them achieve success. I believe that we all have this innate ability to bounce back, spring back into our next level. Today, if you look at what the world is facing, the COVID 19, many thought it's a setback. Others who had the skill set of resilience, they actually are the ones who bounced back. Look at the extent. As soon as the COVID 19 pandemic took over the globe, the extent just bounced back in a different way. We did not sit down and in the corner complaining about things not being right, the world not being good, how would things happen. No, we just bounced back. And this is what is a quality of a company that can survive, not only survive, thrive. So we have not only thrived in this COVID 19, we have set in the roadmap for others in the company to also follow and thrive. DXN is doing really good even in the tough times. This shows the ability of resilience in the company. And I believe that everyone has this skill set, but somehow we just don't know how to tap into that. People talk about you should be resilient, understand the power of let go, do things, but it's not something that you can just decide tomorrow and be resilient. It's not like that. It should happen to you. It should come naturally to you. And that's where Shunya practice helps. Now, many would wonder, how can just observing the breath and following the breath and reverse counting can help you develop this skill? You see, when you sit down for Shunya practice, you observe the breath, you reverse count. What are you doing basically? You're trying to pay attention towards that little purpose of finishing the count, observing the breath effortlessly. And when you're doing this, there are so many disturbances, so many thoughts that come and disturb you, the good ones, the bad ones. Some come with brilliant proposals, $1 million schemes, things that can just change your life. So many thoughts come, but you are so focused and attentive. Even if they disturb you, you go back and you make sure that you complete your count. And this, while you're doing this simple practice, somehow you are developing the ability, a skill set to bounce back. So anything happens in your life pushes you back, puts you down. You have this ability of not getting distracted from the focus and coming back again, making sure that you complete what you set yourself for. And this, I believe, is very, very important, because this is what makes a winner. This is what makes somebody to succeed in life. So keep practicing Shunya, and Shunya will give you these amazing transformation skills that is definitely going to transform your life. And one of that is definitely resilience. I'm sure people who practice Shunya will never have to depend on a psychotherapist or a counselor to counsel them how they need to bounce back in life, because they automatically, with the practice of Shunya, develop these skills of resetting themselves, being their original selves. I believe that the only way to understand this skill set is by practicing Shunya. And every time you practice, you'll see that these little skill sets, these little bricks are going to help you build what you're setting out for. So that's from me today. I hope if there are any questions, I'll be glad to answer on this particular skill set. How can Shunya help to build up the resilience, the ability to bounce back? Okay, you look at any game. I always give the example of a football, or any game that has a ball. You look at the ball, it goes through so much of suffering, everybody kicking it, it's getting bounced everywhere, but the ability of it to be in shape, in the same round shape, to regain itself back, is what allows the others to play the game. This is same and true with us too. If we maintain ourselves, whatever life does to us, kicks us, throws us, we get hit, we will always regain ourselves. We will be able to reset ourselves and be what we are. And so we will be able to achieve and still be in the game of life and achieve what we are setting ourselves for. So yes, with Shunya, you definitely develop this amazing skill set of resilience, and this is so important in our business of DXN too. Many a times when we start prospecting, we like the products of DXN and we want to do business in it, especially the newcomers. They want to go out and prospect. The biggest challenge is, how are they going to come back from a failure, of somebody rejecting the proposal of even buying the product? Only the ones who are resilient will be able to go back and prospect again the next day and keep on doing that. So even for prospecting, building up the business in DXN, you need to be resilient. Every time you push down, every time you fall down, remember, it's just a lesson learned, just to improve us so that we become better off at the next attempt. And resilience is that makes you better every time. Every time you're getting up with a renewed vigor, vitality, more energy, better understanding, and you just perfect things over time. You will see that in practice too. When you sit down and you start doing your reverse counting, you follow your breath. Initially, it's really tough, it doesn't make sense. While you're observing the breath, then you might lose the numbers. If you're trying to concentrate on the numbers, suddenly you realize you stopped breathing, or something happened. Something goes wrong in the coordination. And when you are able to concentrate and put in an effort into observing the breath and reverse counting, you'll realize your breath is really, really strong initially. It feels like a rope, you're pulling a rope. Then slowly with practice, you go through this, you bounce back again and again, and you'll see that the same rope turns into a silk thread, and it is the same action but with a different experience. Same as with DXN. Initially, people who join DXN, who are trying to prospecting, they find it very weird, odd. But over a period of time, it just becomes them. They even do not realize when they have been transformed by DXN into being some of the greatest salesmen. And they would be able to prospect like on the go. So, this is one skill set. Again, for those who believe that DXN is their part and parcel of their life right now. And I would like to also add that Shunya and DXN cannot be separated. With the practice of Shunya, you just better your DXN business also. Not only your life and personal skills and personal relationships, emotional relationships, your social responsibilities, but also your DXN business. So make sure that this silent motivation, this silent inspiration, this practice of silence can really transform you only when you practice it. So keep practicing, practicing. Whatever happens, take out that time and do this simple practice. There's never ever been anything that I have witnessed in my life that was as simple but as profound as the practice of Shunya. So keep practicing. I see no questions coming around. So I would just wrap up this session just to remind you that today we learned about the ability to bounce back, the quality that is developed with the practice of Shunya, of resilience. So thank you everyone, and see you tomorrow with another skill set that you acquire with the practice of Shunya. Bye bye.